What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Welcome to tonight's show. Happy New Year. It's our first show of the new year, and we are in the building. Fellas, you want to say what up?
Oh, I was
Hola.
muted. My bad. What's going on, good people?
No problem, no problem. Yep, we're back in the building. How'd you guys enjoy your break?
Oh, I loved it.
I loved it. It was amazing. I needed it. Uh, a lot has happened since the break. For real. A lot has happened. A lot has changed. Good things. But I
Oh,
definitely
good.
needed that break.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, it's always good when good things happen during especially during the holidays.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so tonight we got a great show lined up for you guys. Looking forward to some great conversation topics as we discuss how are you dating today. Um, First things first. The funny thing was when we came up with this topic, Hype was like, "I'm not dating," so hopefully Damon isn't either. So
Good night, everybody.
right, right. We won't get nobody in trouble. We won't get nobody in trouble. But I think we all have an idea of what the state of the dating pool is these days, and things going on in the dating world. Um, and, one thing I thought about later this afternoon, I was thinking about how a lot of people have been kind of what's the word demonizing podcasts and demonizing this method of discussion in terms of relationships because a lot of podcasts are utilizing um, provocative discussions, provocative speech in terms of how they kind of present these kind of topics. Hey, Sonny, what up, though, Jamie? Appreciate y'all joining in on the comments as always. And I think that's one thing that sets our show apart. We're one of the top shows for content on Spotify, and I'm sure in other platforms as well. One of the most consistent shows that I know of, and we've been doing this now for 7.5 years. And I definitely pride our show as being one that tries to spread, you know, positivity, good information, great viewpoints, but not trying to capitalize on basically destroying the other sexes or trying to destroy different types of relationships. We do our best to present the different sides of this and do a good job at presenting mature discussions. So shouts out to us for that.
So,
Um,
so
and
we've been
today's
in the pandemic that long? 7 years?
yep, Sunny and Smooth and J Ro and
2015.
yeah, and
2015.
Double D started this back in 2015, August, the first week of August, I believe it was August 2nd or August 3rd, and
Mhm.
so yeah, been going strong ever since.
Shout out to J Rowe.
Yeah, shout out J Rose, shout out Double D. I think I started in late 2016, 2017, became official late 2017. And then Dame joined us in like what 2019, something like that. So
Mhm.
No, actually,
2020?
before
No,
then,
2019, 2018. I feel like it was
Jay was
20.
doing 16, the winner of the 16.
Oh,
I
16.
joined the
Oh,
show, but I didn't become the panelist, a permanent panelist until the pandemic.
oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I knew you were regular in like 2018, 2019, and then yeah, so for sure, for sure. So yeah, so yeah, this team is been bringing great content for all these years. I don't know if Sonny's ready to come in or not yet, but yeah, so definitely been doing our things, and even before that, as bloggers, some of us are still blogging. Shout out to Smooth for that. Um, I really haven't blogged in a few years. GFT Radio Network has been my sounding board, my method of platform platform of choice. I know Sonny's been on and off with it, but before we were podcasting, we were blogging. So we've always been bringing great content to the world and being able to present our viewpoints and our either expertise or just our views on certain things. So definitely been doing this for a while. But yeah, like I said, how are you dating today? This came about from a few different topics that we wanted to discuss. First of which, let's discuss finances. This came up on a blog, not blog. Stuck in blog world. This came up on a Facebook post that I saw on a group, and it was about I think it was like somebody had mentioned that a discussion was had between a couple of people about discussing finances on a date, and the question was, is it okay? Should we discuss finances while just dating, or should we really wait until either getting ready to get married or when you're married to start discussing finances? And I think we kind of touched on it a little bit some months ago, but I wanted to have a full discussion on this. What do you guys think? Should we start discussing finances early on in the dating process, or how should we approach that?
I wouldn't say the first date, but eventually the conversation gonna come up. It has to come up. You want to know how somebody making a living. You feel me? So at some point it's gonna come up early. So you feel me? I don't see a problem with it.
First date,
like it's not the first date.
So you got a good credit score or no?
It depends on how you pay your bills. I won't go into too much depth on your finances, but ask them what they do for a living and see where the date goes.
Let's get away from that. What do you do for a living? Everybody asks that question. That's
I'm just saying
questions. What I'm saying is literal finances. Like what are
like you paying your bills and stuff like that.
Are you into paying your bills on time? Do you got a good credit score? Do you
It's my business when you ask me to help you pay your rent, or you got a couple things behind you behind your bills.
If we dating, I'm not even it's not even a thought of asking you to pay my rent.
Well, I know that, but you have people that go through stuff that if I'm dating you, like, so not to say that I'm not this person. So I am financially taking care of my household, right? We're dating. And if I'm in a situation where I'm behind on rent and I could be getting evicted and I'm dating you, most females will say, why would you watch me lose my place and we're dating? You should be either one of the two things. They feel like either you should be helping me maintain my finances, not necessarily you paying it, but helping me manage my finances if you're better than me and I'm having trouble.
I'll help you move. Don't help you move to your next place.
Can I jump in, gang?
I'm not saying that that's expected. I'm just saying that's how some people do.
Sonny's giving out a wild example.
Well, I'm just saying, and it works. I know people personally that have done that, like went through some shit, and they expected the person that they were sleeping with, dating or otherwise, to assist them and not watch them go through this troublesome time. Meanwhile, it was their issue, but like they like you seeing me struggling. If I can't come stay with you, like me personally, I haven't gone through that, but I'm just saying I know people that real life have went through like that.
So that's what I'm saying. We talking about a couple different situations all in one here. My bad, y'all. I told y'all my tablet broke. This is my daughter's tablet. It took me forever to log in. They kept telling me I wasn't me. All right. So if you're getting evicted, this means you haven't paid rent in months. This isn't like just, you know what I'm saying, you didn't just miss December because, Christmas gifts fucked you up. You didn't pay November, October, or September even, nigga. So let's start off there. If you're that person who has missed 3-4 rent payments or mortgage payments, and now your ass is getting put out, and I know, for argument's sake, Sonny's my girl and she manages her money better, I'm not in a space where I'm going to go to her and say, hey, I have trouble managing my money. Could you help me out? Because the nigga who's making those type of bad decisions doesn't believe that he's making any bad decisions. until the eviction notice or the foreclosure is coming. Now you want to try to fix all this shit. This has been months in advance that you needed to get your shit together. I'm married and still feel like a type of way about asking my wife for anything on the finances time. It could now, unless it's like, yo, you got cash and I ain't got it. But if it's like, yo, I need to order some jackets or some sweatsuits or some shit, can you cover this for me? Hell no, I would never ask her to do that.
Yeah.
I would feel like, what tip am I on for asking her that? I mean, not saying that she wouldn't do it, but I would feel like a nut for asking.
But I get that too. But we also talk like, so let's take it away from like real bills, mortgage and shit like that. Something as simple as a cell phone bill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you just every time I call Willie, he dating his phone off. He just somehow can never have money to pay his bill.
He can't. You can only call him. He can't call you.
Yeah, that should be. I gotta call you on Wi-Fi. It's problematic, right? But
DM me on the gram.
Facebook Messenger.
But it's a difference of we're dating. He's not. I'm gonna put this scenario out. We're dating. He's not. Financially has a job, so he's in between jobs at this point, right? So he has to pay real bills, and like this is like a minor bill that's not. It's important, but it might not be important to him, right? But you're also trying to find a job. So we're dating, and I see that you're proactively trying to get out of that situation, and it's not like a frequent flyer situation. I may be more inclined if I'm dating you to help you out in that scenario, not that you need me to do it, but because I know that you're actively doing what you need to do to get out of that situation. You're not just sitting there stuck in a rut and just it's last month it was that 2 months ago. It's the same story. Nah, we're not doing that. I'm not taking care of the wrong person. But at the same time, if I'm dating you.
I have an important question.
Go ahead.
What are we considered dating? Like, I think
I would say for me, if in that situation, I would say exclusively dating. We're not dating anybody else. It's just me and you dating. We're not seeing other people. We're at the point that we're exclusively dating, and we're in the mindset of being.
So I guess put it this way. You're not at the point where you're discussing marriage yet. You're just at the point where you may be boyfriend girlfriend status, but you're definitely not at that point where you're like we're combining households. You're not at that point where you're discussing marriage, but you're established enough. What do you think it's okay to start? Either. I'm saying just discussing it, but Sonny's taking it to the level of would you even start getting involved in that person's finances as well to that point.
Mean, I look at it like if you're trying to build a future and it's getting like if marriage is the ideal of your relationship. So if I'm dating you and we get to the exclusivity, so we're having conversations of what does the end result look like? Or what's the goal in the situation? Are we dating to get married? Are we dating to be special friends in each other obit sections? Like, what are we doing?
Okay, even before that, Sonny, what I'm saying is even before you get to that level, are you you may be exclusive, but you haven't even got to that conversation. But before you get to that point where you're looking at it from a standpoint of saying, we're going to definitely be together. Before you get to that point, would you discuss finances with this person before you get to that point?
No, I wouldn't. That's not a conversation we're going to have at that particular point. It's too early. Like, I don't need to know the ins and outs. Like, I'm not asking how much you pay in rent, mortgage, or whatever. If you tell me that, I own my house, I'm assuming you're paying something, you're somewhat responsible. But as far as like the meat and potatoes, no, that's not a conversation I'm having early on. I think for me, personally, the only way I would bring it up is if we're in that dating stage and it becomes an issue with us going out on dates and you having problem with financial problems. Okay. Then I'm gonna say, well, what's going on? Gotcha. But other than that, we're not having that conversation, because at that point, I won't even say what's going on. I probably won't date you because your life is not together anyway.
What do we consider dating smooth? That was a phenomenal question. My daughter came in the room like a whirlwind, so I had to walk away from her.
Yeah,
that was a phenomenal question.
Yeah, so my answer to that question was you're dating either you're still dating other people, or even if you
I heard you. I was on.
Yeah.
Just because we dating exclusively on your end doesn't mean that we're dating exclusively on my end, though.
Well, if you're mutually,
which is what makes that a phenomenal question. Great job, Smooth.
Yeah.
We just had a conversation last night of people dating people that are not dating them. So
yeah actually, we're definitely going to come back to that question, because this actually came up in a real life example, and I'll explain it in a minute. But yeah, let's finish this topic real quick. So let's go back.
The whole relationship
let's go back
you know
to
about.
Smooth. Smooth, what's your thoughts on this? What would you have this discussion pre complete exclusivity? Would you have this finances discussion?
No, absolutely not. It's too early. It's like I feel crazy even approaching a woman about my finances in the dating process early. Like that's a little weird to me. Like, I'm still trying to get to know you, who you are, before we get into all of that. Like nah. Like, we gotta be way further down the line where we just like you said earlier, we're not talking about what you do for a living. We talking about getting in depth with somebody's finances, how they pay their bills, money management skills, financial literacy, stuff like that.
Right.
Like, that's when it's time to start having deeper conversations, and you're going to another level. So I can understand that further down the line. But if we're just dating, see, that's why I asked that question, because my concept of dating is totally different. Like, dating, like, we're not exclusive. We haven't established that we're exclusive. We're just getting to know each other to see if we like each other, to see if we like to be around each other. That's what I consider dating. You feel me? So once we become exclusive, once we become a couple, that's totally different. That's different, in my opinion.
Got you. I think we've already heard Haim's response. Dane, what's your response?
Just go ahead.
Huh?
Just go ahead. I'll come back. Y'all all lost a thought.
No. I was asking you. What was your?
I know I lost my thought. I was listening to Smooth.
I'm sorry. I lost my thought. Okay.
It'll come back to me, maybe.
Yeah. So no, I feel the same way. As you guys, it's definitely a conversation that I think, because at least I know I don't feel comfortable talking about my finances, and not that there's anything wrong with it, but I just don't. It's just nothing I want to talk to a person that I may be seeing today, and I may not be seeing tomorrow. You know what I mean? Or I might take the stance of I'm just your food plug. I'm not trying to be your man. That kind of thing. Or I'm just looking to have a good time. I'm not trying to get into these serious topics and conversations with you. That kind of situation. So I definitely think there's definitely levels to it. Coming out the gate. Asking, what's my credit score and how I'm paying my bills and blah blah blah. That just seems weird to me. It just seems too much. I definitely think it's got to be something that's a more serious situation before you start getting into that. Tamika Renee said, "There's no versions of dating exclusively. If it's been discussed and agreed upon, anything else is someone playing games." Good point, Tamika. Good point.
Games are fun.
And we're never, he said games are fun. We're definitely going to get into that topic here shortly. Did you have a comment, Dame, or should we keep going?
Keep going. Y'all pretty much covered it. Y'all's pretty good. Excellent comment. I wouldn't be talking about finances and telling people, well, I pay my bills this way. It'd probably be something more natural to come up, like discussing something as we're more conversant and we can discuss anything at any time. So naturally it'll come up of how we pay our bills. Or unless you just want to be like Smooth and just like, listen, I need somebody responsible.
Well,
how do you pay
actually, okay, let's go back to this then, because to your point, I thought the same thing, but I did talk to somebody. And I know I read a couple of stories about this where people end up waiting all the way until they're either married or just before marriage, before they have these conversations. It was something I thought too, that it was like, oh, this would be something that will come up. It should be more of a natural kind of like a flow, right? But do you think that it's just a bad idea to wait all the way until you're literally days away from marriage or all the way into marriage before those finances?
That's insane.
For real?
Yes.
I feel like if you're planning
idea.
on moving in with somebody, you should be having conversations of financial things, because then that plays a part into it too. Because if you're looking, like I said, if you're at the point where you're dating and it's going somewhere to the point where you're thinking about, this is who the person I want to be with, this is what my future looks like, let's move in together. That's a conversation before you move in together, because relationships break up for a couple of things, and most likely it's financial. If you're a person that is not, I don't want to say financially irresponsible, but like don't have your priorities in order, right? And I have my priorities in order, and I'm thinking about this, and this, like the goal, my mind is elsewhere, right?
Right.
And you're not even on that thought process of me. And I was just having a conversation with somebody too, because if we move in, and say if we do 50-50, say if we do, you cover the rent, I cover the bills. Right. I'm not saying it for you to rebut right now. I'm just saying, like, these are things like that people have different relationships have those types of dynamics of what it is, whether it's not, it's the whole man
50-50 niggas, boy.
Paying for the whole okay.
Yeah. Look, let me read this comment real quick, and I'm gonna jump back to Dame.
My bad, Sonny. I hate them niggas.
GZDR Forever says, I find it funny. We will give these social media apps our name, email, bank info for Cash App or Zelle. And we have never met the makers of these apps. But the person who you take home and get intimate with, that's the person we want to keep the info from. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. I mean,
one reason I say that it will come up naturally if you're actually being observant to the person you're dating. Mm-hmm. You're going to see the offending habits when y'all go out to eat, movies, entertainment, any type of shared venture.
Yes.
That you're gonna see how to spend money, and you want to ask simple questions like, you sure you got enough to cover this? When we go half and half with you, when we put some money down on it, to see their responses and see how they interact with when it comes to finances. Stuff like that will come up naturally. But then you see them like, oh, I came up short. Then you're going to be asking like, oh, yeah, I can get you, stuff like that goes in the back of your head as you keep moving on in your venture, your relationship. That's why I said it should come up naturally.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, go ahead, Hank.
Yeah, my bad. I told y'all the tablet is 26 charges over here. None of them was to the damn tablet. I got 12% to go here. Like Dame is saying, I was very immature in my dating stage ages, because I wasn't looking for a relationship, a wife, or any of those type of situations. But like Dame is saying, games are fine. Like Dame is saying, though, those things happen naturally. When a man gets to the point where he decides to take you serious, he's been paying attention, or should have been paying attention, to all the things about you. Has she ever had a phone off? Did she ever say she needed some help with the gas money? Did you ever have to help her with any of these situations? Did she help you with any of these situations? You watch all these things over time before you just get to a situation where it's like, now we're going to talk about how you manage money. Now we're going to talk about how we moving in together. In these days and age, we're not waiting until we moving in together. We're not waiting until we get married to move in together. We've been living together since way before we got married. So you knew all of that. You knew if she was just paying the gas bill and the gas bill's 3 months behind, what type of finances, like how she's managing her situation. Because I'm 50-50 thing. My bad, Sonny. I derailed your whole situation. It's a trigger for me. I really don't like them type of niggas. I don't understand what you're doing. My dad has been dead since 2009. My mom is still living off my dad, because that's what a man does for his whole situation. Different situation for everybody, but I'm saying that's just me, what I got. But yeah, you should be paying attention to these different things. And how else is somebody going to pay for their Custom Hustle jacket, jersey, or sweatsuit if they don't have your Cash App information over at Custom Hustle World on Instagram? Just to answer the question, this looks like a new listener. 5 stars only for the How to Hustle podcast, Ryan.
No doubt.
When does that come out?
That comes out every Tuesday on the GFT Radio Network at 2 p.m. Not this week. I had, again, the tablet situation. Couldn't lock anything in. Called my man Smooth, though, in a pinch. My man was at practice.
No doubt. No doubt. Smooth, did you have another comment?
No, I actually agree with the commenter down there. Everything Hype said was 1,000% accurate as well.
Hey, Smooth, that's an episode too. We're doing that one.
Okay. It's just like when like I said, when in the dating process, to me, like 4 or 5 dates in, like we're not a couple. We still until we have that conversation. Like the previous commenter said, once we have that conversation that we're gonna be together, all right, this is what we're doing, then we know what I mean. That's when we had those type conversations. Yeah,
No doubt.
like what Tamika said.
Yeah.
Once it's discussed and agreed upon, then yeah, everything, you watching your girl struggle is wild. It's wild.
Yeah. Now I said that dating is fun, but it can also leave you shell shocked, and that's the thing. I think that some of us too, we may have.
So can a roller coaster.
I'm sorry.
So can a roller coaster.
Yeah, but I think it's like we go through certain things and we may feel like, oh, you know what, I don't want to share this information, or I don't want to get involved in discussing these things because my last relationship, my last not even relationships, my last situations didn't really pan out to anything. So why go through this, or why talk about these things? And so I think that's another reason why we kind of keep that information away. And it's not that we're trying to keep it away. We may just be like, oh, it's just not something that's important enough to talk about right now because it's something that doesn't concern this person, or it's not something that I feel like I need to discuss with this person. And I think having somebody that close to you, it depends on your comfort level with them. Just because I'm like, oh, I want to take them out on dates doesn't mean that I also want to have a life with them. But I definitely feel that once you are at that point where you're like, hey, I'm really digging this person, I want to either move in or discuss a life together or even get married. Yeah, I think definitely you need to have those conversations. You need to definitely establish and to the point about how things will kind of like naturally flow, the observations, that is good, and that happen, and you can do that to a point. The only thing is that certain people have a way of hiding certain things. Certain people have a way of making things look good on the outside, but shit ain't right on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Be it financially, emotionally, mentally. So I think that sometimes we have to keep that in mind too. Just because you think you see a person doing something like, oh, they got a nice car, they take me on nice dates, they seem to never have issues with their bills because they never sell me this. It seems like their stuff is always on, but who knows if they're not bankrolling 55 different credit cards to do this, or they're not getting money from mama to make this happen when you want somebody who's independent, or whatever the case may be. So I think that that's something that we have to keep in mind, that sometimes we still need to have these conversations. Just because you think of something in some way doesn't mean that it's really what it appears. So and going back to Tamika's point, thinking you're dating exclusively versus somebody who's out there playing games, or as Simon says, having fun. It's not what you see, it's what you know, and you got to be able to have that conversation to be sure.
That's when you presenting your representative. Some people present that representative for 15, 20 years. Some people present that motherfucker for a good 3 months. And then the real Keisha comes out, or the real Lamar comes out, and you go, oh, this nigga is crazy.
Mm-hmm. For sure. All right, next question. What do you think the term dating means? And what do you call the different levels of relationships? So this was to Smooth's point, his great question earlier about what do you consider dating? And I had seen this situation before, or seen this question come up before, where it was like, what does the term itself mean to you? Because for everybody it seems to be a little bit different. Some people think it's one thing or another. So let's go ahead and start with Sonny. What do you when you hear the word dating, what do you think of? And then we'll get through everybody first on that term, and then we'll talk about what we call our different levels after that. Oh, Sonny, you're
No, yeah, I was
saying
putting
she
myself on
muted.
mute. So I consider dating to be well, I guess for me, I don't date multiple people at one time, but I do date one person at a time. At most, if it's not one, it's probably two. We go out, hang out, get to know each other, and spend time together, and like just learn each other.
okay.
Like whether it's going out to dinner, going out like to just do different events or activities together, that type of thing. Like on a consistent basis, I consider that dating.
Okay. All right. Smooth.
Yeah, I'm along the same lines as that. Just getting to know each other, seeing if we like each other's company. To me, that's dating. Seeing if we like to have fun with each other, see what type of serious conversations we can have, see each other's train of thoughts a little bit. I'm like Sonny. I don't like to date. I don't got the patience to be dating a whole bunch of people at the same time. Like I just don't got the patience for that. So, but to the point earlier, like Hank was making, sometimes we always say communication is key. So it's like it's a fine line. You got to communicate certain things because one person could be thinking one thing, y'all serious, more serious than what y'all are, and another person can have whole different thoughts. You feel me? So that got to be communicated early on as well.
Yeah, indeed, definitely. Hank.
Anybody that you have consistent, excuse me, anybody you have consistent communication with. If you text this girl every day or at least every 2 days, like y'all always got a situation where you checking in and ain't even you wanted nothing. I just want to make sure that you was cool type thing, which is why I always say talking, because dating, talking, it's the same thing, different names. But yeah, you could talk to multiple people. You could send out 3-4 good morning texts. You know what I'm saying, just to start off the person's day, get your name into their thought process. So I mean, that could be just anything or anybody. You say some conversations are longer than others, is what I will always say.
Right.
It's like training camp. Everybody doesn't make the team. At the end of training camp, we have to make cuts and get this roster down to 53. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of these talking stages, all right, she just weaned herself out. This is the third time her phone's been off. I can't have this type of situation. You know what I'm saying? She just showed me that she can't even add. She showed me she can't read. People just start to, get themselves cut off the roster. But you could talk to multiple people, and it's not really, don't have to really be that serious. The problem, people be just like rushing just to say they got something because the next person got something. And it'd be like, my cousin doing this, so I got to be doing this. Or like, we all went to school together and they all doing, like, stop comparing yourself to other people and just let it happen. Shit's going to happen when it's going to happen.
No doubt. Dane?
The dictionary defines as dating to regularly spend time with someone you have a romantic relationship with. So I find myself still dating my wife, even though we're married. You still have to put that time in to date them, to spend time. Because if not, we're gonna be dating some other people, and we're married to each other.
Okay. All right. It's one way of looking at it. I like that. All right. Yeah. So the way I consider it, so the way I considered the term at one point was that dating. I consider dating as going out with different people, doing activities, getting to know a person, and but I definitely dated multiple people at once, so it was never like, oh, I gotta only date one woman. I felt like when you're dating, you're out there
figuring it out,
trying to figure out who you want to be in a relationship with. So I didn't consider dating as an exclusive thing. And like Sonny was saying, and I think Smooth kind of reiterated, was like, for them, dating is like, okay, now I'm at this point where I'm regularly having dates with one person, or maybe one or two people, but
yeah, that's a relationship.
Kind of focusing it down to a particular person, that kind of thing. And I think that's to Smooth's point, that's the thing, you got to communicate that, being able to
love and shit at that point.
Yeah, so you want to get it focused down to a certain person or persons that you're gonna say, okay, eventually I want to get this down to where I want it to be. So seeing that you guys are in general talking about besides me and Hank, saying dating is that one person. What would you call your exploration stages? Like what do you kind of call that? What do you do you have a term for it, or do you still consider it dating, or do you just kind of basically just say, okay, you know what, this is what it is? Like how do you guys look at that?
Holding 15 yards.
Yeah. Penalty, flag on the play. Flag on the play. So let me explain myself a little bit better.
Okay.
When I say like I don't got time to be dating a whole bunch of women at the same time, like I'm saying I'm not trying to be scheduling a whole bunch of dates every weekend. Like, first of all, that shit add up. You feel me? That shit add up if you really try to date. Like that shit is expensive. I'm saying when I say only date at one time, I'm not saying that this is something I love you, this is something exclusive. I'm still in a, like you just said, I'm about to see where this go, see if I like her mentality. That could just be one date. Yeah, that could just be one date and it's over. We on to the next. You feel me? Or it could be two, or what have you. You know what I mean? But it ain't like we not about to prolong this thing. Like, nah, it ain't that type of situation.
Yeah,
but
like,
notice I never said anything about taking these multiple people out. Taking these multiple people out, like you said, becomes an expensive situation, which is why I said I was a whole lot more immature back in my backsliding days. So I never said anything about taking them out. Go ahead, Sonny.
But I'm gonna basically share what Smooth said. Just because we're dating, it doesn't mean we're, like I said, that to me is three levels of it, right? It's dating. For me, it's dating, exclusive, and then we're in a relationship. It's that I'm dating you to get to know you at the beginning, seeing whether or not that I want to sing you out as a person that I want to consistently date exclusively. That means I'm not talking to anybody else. Like, because even if I'm dating one of you guys, right? There's still people talking to me in my inbox. There's still people that's texting my phone and talking to me. I'm just choosing to give you my time to see where you're at. So for me, so I'm kind of skipping ahead. So if it gets to the point where I like how you're coming and we vibe with each other, we like spending time with each other, and at this point, let's like where do we see things going? Are we looking to this type of outcome? Blah blah blah. And sometimes it's not. That's why I said it's people that date you that you're not dating. And even though we all describe dating as hanging out and spending time with somebody on a consistent basis, people don't consider that dating. They're just hanging out with you here and there because you're free, they're free, and they hang out with you. So even if I'm spending time with just this one person all the time, that man may not think we're dating, because even though we're doing exactly what dating says, he's not dating me, I'm dating him, and we're on two separate pages.
Right.
But if we're on the same page and we're both with the ideal and the mindset of this, we're trying to see where this is going. Okay, so now that you're dating and what we're dating, we got past the dating stage and we're exclusively dating. That means that I'm not talking to anyone else outside of you. You're, at this point, you're my person that I'm looking to get in a relationship with. So it's a little bit different. Mm-hmm. The expectations are a little bit different, because now I'm expecting to get in a relationship with you at some point in the near future. It's not years later. It's that we're going to end up.
So do you? So you're calling the first two parts the same thing. You're when you're talking to a bunch of people, and when you're like, okay, now I'm kind of regularly dating somebody, but I'm not in a relationship, not looking to be in a relationship, but I'm still feeling
just trying to fill them out.
Focused in. But
yeah. Now if I say I'm exclusively dating Smooth, right? That means he's my person. If I choose to have sex, that's the only person I'm having sex with. So, there's nobody that can call me and interrupt our time.
Yeah. So Smooth, do you call those first two parts dating as well, or do you have a different term for that first part, where you're just kind of filling out a bunch of different people at the same time, or you're just kind of entertaining connections before you actually say, okay, you know what, I'm down to this.
Yeah, I like that. I like that better. If I get a connection with somebody, and then we decide to have, that conversation that we should take it to the next level and be in a relationship, then we're in a relationship.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
feel me? And then that's when, all right, well, now we're in a relationship, so then marriage is the goal eventually. You understand?
Yep.
But once we're in a relationship, that's when we start working towards that goal.
Yep.
You feel me? It's two separate goals. The first goal is to see if I even like you. You feel me? To see if we even compatible. That's the first goal. So once we pass that goal post of, all right, we're compatible, we like each other, now we want to see if we can take it further, then we jump in that stage, and then the next goal is marriage. And now let's see if we can get there. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But that's that stage.
So he doesn't have the exclusive dating thing. He goes from dating to we're in a relationship to possible marriage. I have it's like a buffer in between, because at the same time that we're dating, you could be talking to other people. You could be hanging out with other people. You could be going out with people. I'm not expecting, like, especially if we're not having sex, whoever you're sleeping with, that's who you're sleeping with. When I say exclusive, we've cut ties with anybody that's not us. Like, we're on the same page of this, you're my person, I'm your person, and let's see if we can get to this point that we like each other in this extra level. And if we do, then we can get into a relationship. That's for me. I don't know if anybody else does that, but for me, it's the dating, exclusive relationship, and or marriage.
Right. See, this became one of my things, and Smooth will understand this. Can you be at the table doing homework with my daughter? That's a very big thing. That's what all of the, do I like you? How intelligent are you? I'm not going to always be able to be here. And when you're at this table doing this long division, how's that going to go? Am I going to have to check the homework behind you? You know what I'm saying? How are you going to interact with my daughter? What type of person are you? All of those things come into effect, but you're going to figure all of that out before we get into this relationship. Because once we got into a relationship, I already weeded all of that out, because I know that if we get in a relationship, then I know the goal for me is to get into marriage. It's not for me to be your boyfriend for the next 25 years. I hate the term boyfriend and girlfriend once we hit a certain age. Boyfriends and girlfriends are for people in high school or in their early 20s. You should not be 38 to much your boyfriend. Like, that's your nigga. Well, y'all just talk. Like, don't be, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? She mine, whatever you want to call it. But that's the, you know what I'm saying, like the progression that I will be going through. Like, all right, so she cool and all, but
Hunt definitely has his own way about things. He definitely like, no, these things have to be this way. I feel
copy. I tell people all the time, things go my way or they don't go.
Right. So the next question I have is about deal breakers. And this came up from
Newports.
Oh yeah. So this came up from a few posts that I've seen, conversations that I've had, things that I've seen where there's we've talked about deal breakers in the past, and what I'm talking about here is absolute deal breakers, things that keep us, that will stop us from even exploring a situation with somebody. And the question is, should we let a single deal breaker stop us from finding love? So essentially, one that came up in Heinbeck, you just touched on it, is, would you not even consider talking to somebody because they smoke either tobacco, weed, both, whatever? Like, is there a single deal breaker for you that you're like, this is an absolute no, that I won't even talk to this person, I won't even consider this person, I won't even give them the time of day? Dave, do you have an answer for that for us?
Smoking,
or answer the one of, or answer the question of, should a person allow a single item to be like, you know what, that, this is going to exclude.
You have to weigh the good with the bad, because nobody's perfect. Can you live with such deal breakers? Like, they might have some good qualities that outweigh that one deal breaker. You're throwing away a perfectly good relationship, sabotaging your own life in your future just because that one thing. Now, if it's something that you really can't get over, hey, that's more power to you. Some people can't. What's the word? Some people don't want to settle.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Settling for they don't want to settle for, and some people don't just want to settle. they will look over that red flag or that deal breaker just because they want to settle down. So you just have to outweigh the
have some.
Got you. Sonny?
I like this. This is a weird topic for How to Hustle podcast. I'm just telling y'all now. Live plagiarism.
So I have a petty deal breaker, and I have a real deal breaker. But my petty one is somebody that snores unproductively loud.
Sorry.
I find it problematic, and I will beat the shit out of you because I need you to let me go to sleep first. But even if you let me go to sleep, I'm a light sleeper, so yeah, but fuck them. You can't live with me. You got to live elsewhere. You can't be over here with that. No, but I had somebody that I dealt with that, and it was very hard for me. But I ended up dealing with it. But a serious, if I had to say, if I had one single deal breaker that would stop me from just like talking to somebody, is if you're a super deadbeat. No, absolutely not. I'm not. Like, I got my own kids. I have dealt with deadbeats. I'm not going to sign up to date one. So if you are not taking, I'm not so focused on how many kids you have, but if you don't take care of them, those kids that you created, we have a problem. The excuses of my baby mom won't let me and all this hoopla is a poor excuse for me, because I know you have rights and you choose not to act with them for whatever reason you want to give me. Deal breaker. I'm good off that.
Yeah, you got 4 kids and you ain't never got none of them. Yeah, that's a red flag right there.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with you. I don't care if you take care of 3 and you got 4, you don't take care of 1, you're a fucking deadbeat. I can't be bothered.
Copy, I hear you.
So me and my wife snore. I'm a light sleeper. She can fall asleep at the drop of a hat. And I'll have to go to sleep first in order for us to make this thing work. If not, I'm sleeping on the couch. That's how light of a sleeper I am. She can fall asleep at whenever.
Right. All right, let's go to Smooth.
Rudeness. Like I hate a rude person. I hate a person who think they better than somebody. So that's a deal breaker for me. Like, why you rude to the waiter? You know, why you think somebody's position is beneath you? Like, I came across a lot of women like that. You know, that's a absolute deal breaker for me. You feel me?
No doubt. No, that's a big one for me too. I definitely agree with that one. Hype.
Newports, man. Those Newports are a deal breaker. First time you spark up a port, oh no, this is definitely over. Deleted, blocked, all that. Like Smooth, kind of along the lines of what Smooth is saying, because like I said, the whole thing becomes, can you be at the table with my daughter doing his homework? The type of parent that you are and the way that you just interact with the person who doesn't really have, the person who you walk past and is like, we both see that they have something that's clearly wrong, but you think this shit is funny. And like, all right, it could be like a ha-ha, you know, but like you got veins popping out your neck, you're crying, like you're taking this way too far. You find the misfortune of somebody else to be entirely too amusing. That tells me the type of person that you are. That tells me that you're not the person that I need at this table doing his homework. So the type of dude that I am, if I see shit, I got 2 burgers in my, like, what movie was this on? It was on The Best Man. When they walking through the park and they got the food and the little girl gives it to the man. He said, because we got more, we can go get some more. Same thing my nephew told me. My nephew sells his mom. He keeps giving his money to his friend because his friend, he be hungry. He don't have no money. I know if I go home, I can get something to eat. He don't be eating. So I just gave him my money because he's like 7 or 8 at the time. And I'm like, that's good shit, nephew, because that's what I did when my man lived across the street from me and told me that their water was off. I said, so you need to take a shower, nigga? We got water in my crib. Come on. Like, those type of characteristics and type of shit, that's why I said the things that'll just naturally come out in the person. The person who laughs at the waiter with the speech impediment or something like that, it's like, all right, copy. You file it away for later, and then you go, yeah, but she also did that shit. If you did that shit, what are you going to do when I'm not around and you got to be speaking for me?
No doubt. Let me go to Nai's comment. She says,
God damn, girl, this is a novel.
she said dating is about being honest and direct. Ask specific questions so that you both always know where you both stand at all times. She says, I'm guilty of not being direct about what I want from him. Many times I settled for what he offered, even if it wasn't necessarily what I desired. I know in life, being cowardice in any way has definitely kept me single. My mindset has changed, and now I have seen that to have success in love, I must advocate for what I want and set firm boundary lines for what I don't. A deal breaker for me is deceit. If you cannot be honest with me, then honestly, we will not work out. If your actions and words don't match, neither do we.
That was a hell of a statement that you just made.
She said actively dating and learning. Sorry for the book. No problem, Nye. Definitely
send me that. There was 3 topics in that, man. Send me that if you can. That was 3 topics right there. Shit.
All right.
What's up, Nye?
So and you know, to Nye's point, as well as Smooth and Hype, those are big deal breakers for me in terms of you know, your attitude and your reactions to people, how you treat them, how you treat others in the world, especially when you have this air of superiority. That's a no for me. It's like, yeah, I can't deal with that. And that's something you actually kind of notice, if it, just in conversations with a person. But then definitely when you're out with a person and you see how they interact with others, it definitely can become very clear, the type of person they are.
Bragging is an issue for me too. Like if the guy got to brag about how much money he got, what he bought himself, and real into materialistic things, that's definitely a deal breaker for me, because you're giving me vibes that if you do something for me, you're gonna be like, that's all it is. Oh, I did this for you. I did, but no. I read you not doing.
You don't like the braggadocious person.
I don't care about your money.
Right. And the deceit thing is a big one for me. I mean, let's be honest, that pretty much dissolved my last marriage. Was that it was like, don't tell me you're gonna do one thing and be doing a whole completely different opposite thing. Don't give me, an answer that you can't back up later, that kind of thing. And I know that some people look at what they call it, basically like omitting certain things or trying to protect people's feelings as a way of showing their love, but basically don't love me like that. I mean, I'm gonna overlook certain things, but if your whole thing is a constant mismatch of actions to words, or your words don't mean nothing, then I definitely can't deal with that. So definitely agree with that. When I was having the discussions, there were some, to Sonny's point, there was a couple of petty examples that came up. There was a couple of examples where it was like, you really can't see past this one thing that stops you from wanting to date a person, but it's just your thing that you're just like, you know what, I just don't want to see past this. This is to Dame's point. It's like I got my boundary line, and I just can't see past this. I don't want to deal with this. And so my initial thing was like, oh, don't let one thing stop you from finding love. But then I started to think about it, and
sometimes it really matters.
Right, and exactly, and that's the thing, is like sometimes that one thing is what's going to keep.
It depends how important that one thing is. Yeah,
because I was like you, Haim. I don't smoke. I don't hate the way cigarette smoke smell. Almost every guy I dated smoked cigarettes. Newports at that. and it's so funny because I like
goddamn green packs.
I hate the way it smells. I don't like it on me. You talking about like when you're a non-smoker and you get that smell on you, it's fucking. Oh my God!
That shit get trapped in your beard.
In your hair. It's everywhere. So for me, it was like I didn't want to date smokers, and like 95% of the people I've ever dated in my entire life have been smokers.
Yeah,
I can't get away from it. It's probably like rare that I probably dated one guy that doesn't smoke, and I'm like, what happened to you? I'm used to these Newports smoking people.
Hey yo,
right.
I'm on 1%. This tablet is definitely about to die. Nah, Kelly, check those friend requests. I just sent you one on Facebook. I need that novel that you sent. You know what I'm saying? There was 3 topics in there.
That's my sister.
Copy that then. Okay. You definitely locked in there.
Hey, Hank, you can always go back to the replay.
I need her to send me that though. We probably gotta get her on to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm lining up episodes. You see Smooth's locked in for one from earlier. That's why I keep looking down at the phone. When I start looking at the phone, we have topics that are being loaded. But
Right.
yeah, the tablet's about to die on me, gang. I didn't
right.
even think I was gonna have much to say on this, but you motherfuckers did sparked a lot out of me. I'm glad that I
And that's what we're here
joined the
for.
conversation.
Exactly.
I was setting it up, Willie. Damn, I was setting it up. All right, gang.
All
All
right.
right, bye.
So going back to expectations and things of being honest, open and honest to Nai's point when she was saying about having conversations and being direct, being open, being honest, and knowing that what you're offering is lining up with what the other person's offering. The question came up of what shortcomings do or what's the right way I want to ask this question? How do you be upfront? What's your best strategy for being upfront about your shortcomings? Be it if it's something emotional, physical, financial, whatever the case may be. How do you present that to that person? What's the best way? And at one point do you do that in that dating phase? And what dating phase are you giving that person a view of your shortcomings?
Who you want to answer first?
Let's go. Whatever you want to answer, go ahead.
Well, I am unapologetically and probably self-deprecating overshare. I overshare to the 10th power. So I'll probably overshare at some point in the conversation stage of a relationship, or the dating process. Not necessarily the first day, but you'll get if you follow me on social media, you kind of know me, but not necessarily know me. So, but if you never met me in person and never follow my social media, I am actively an overshare. So I'll give you stuff about me, but at the same time, I'm mindful of what I say. I don't say it without thinking about it. And then on top of that, I'm an overthinker. So I'm probably like 10 times ahead about what I'm about to say before I say it type of person. But I overshare about a lot of things. Like even on this podcast, I tell people I am a big person of I'm just direct. Like I'm probably going to tell you anyway. Like just because the type of person I am. I'm not good with certain things. I try to be mindful of a lot of stuff that I say to people I'm dating, while understanding that I may say something you might not like.
Gotcha.
It might, to you, it may be a red flag or something I said. But I think for me, it's like I'm working on me. So I'm learning I know what to share, when to share it. But sometimes, depending on the conversation, I may give you something about me that I probably wouldn't have gave a person I was dating until like at least a month down the line. And it's like not that it's personal or like super, I'm trying to keep it from you. It's just that I may not be as open with Willie than I am with Smooth, because it depends on the situation with the person that you're dating. If I'm dating you, you make me feel comfortable enough that I'm vulnerable enough to share certain things I probably wouldn't share till date 3, 4, or 5. Mm-hmm. I may share it on date 1, depending on how the conversation goes.
For sure. Smooth. Let's go to Dave.
He ran away. He's sick of this dating topic. Now go ahead.
No, yeah, I am. But I'm me. You feel me? Like, so what you see is what you get. I am who I am. You feel me? Flaws and all. So I'm a big proponent of like, I don't gotta lie. You feel me? Because you're gonna see it regardless. So if it so what's the point? What's the point of just of lying about it all? So I always approach things like I am who I am. You're gonna get me. So wherever that conversation go, if I feel like sharing whatever it is, I'll share it. If not, if it's none of your business, it's none of your business. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you feel me? I just be yourself. That's my advice to everybody. Be yourself, communicate, and it's simple. It's real simple. To let people know who you are. Just be who you are.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Hey, Brittany. She says, "Hi, y'all. Happy New Year. I'm a complete oversharer to Sunny, which sometimes is a testament to how much I'm vibing with someone because I'm super comfortable." And yeah, so and that's I think that's an important thing too is that comfort level and like Sunny was saying too, the vulnerability level that you're at and where you are with the person will definitely help you open up more and give more information. But I also think that it's one of those things where it's important to Smooth's point, and I think something you said it too is being just open about who you are, so that way that person can know who you are, understand what they're getting, what they're getting in the package, so that way there's no confusion later. You're not omitting or lying about things. Being open and honest is important too, I think, because your ability to hide certain things is probably not going to be there at some point anyway. And if you're hiding that and then the person feels deceived, to Nye's point earlier, is then now they're looking at you like, hey, you lied to me, or you deceived me, or you omitted this, and now they don't want to deal with you. Nye said, I overanalyze and sometimes I will overthink my way out of love. That's a big one. That's a big one. Dame, did you have a comment on the question?
Yeah, like Britt said, that it depends on the comfortability level between the individual and the closeness. Like if we're dating and I'm feeling you, I'm feeling the vibe, it has to be a mutual feeling. Like I think you're feeling me too, or how deep I'll go with my past or my openness or my flaws too. If I feel like it's not going nowhere, I might give you the surface information, like stuff that I'm not gonna lie about, but you don't need to know the whys, whens, hows, and the backstory of it. You'll just get a story, not you get the insignificant stuff.
Right.
But I had a question. I wish Hank was still here. But I give it to Smooth. It's about finances early. What happens if the person admits that they're bad financially? Like they're trying, but they just can't get it. Is that something that you can see yourself dealing with or working with? Like something they're trying to do, or they just no?
Nah, that's not something I want to be a part of at all. No, I mean, because I've been in the situation firsthand where somebody's not financially responsible. You feel me? It has nothing to do with them not being able to make money, not having money. It's just that they're irresponsible with the money, and when you feel me, the relationship won't even work. You know how they say, make it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So if you got somebody who's real concerned about how money is spent, you know what I mean, how we doing this, like we ain't wasting no money, then you got somebody who's real laissez-faire when it comes to the bread. Like them two, like we just not gonna mix ever. You feel me? We make a compromise a little, but we never gonna mix. So if you're financially irresponsible, like I can't. You feel like nah. You feel me? We got kids out here. You feel me? You trying to get things done for the kids. You feel me? I'm trying to progress. I can't progress with you. You know what I mean? Not knowing what you're doing with your bread. But before I wanted to say something about the shortcomings. Something because something Willie mentioned earlier, and you was like, shortcomings can be emotional, mental, or whatever. Like this is my problem with dating, and this is the issue I've come into a lot. A lot of people shouldn't be dating.
Mm-hmm.
Not ready mentally or emotionally. You feel me? So if your shortcoming is mental or emotional, you should work on those two things first before you even get into a relationship or even think about getting into a relationship. You feel me? So I'm not with the, you know what I mean? So when we talk about shortcomings, like if it's those, we gotta establish what those shortcomings is. Because if it's those, like, you shouldn't even be dating.
I feel like people shouldn't be dating if you're not comfortable with being by yourself for a period of time without dating anyone, you shouldn't be dating. I mean,
if you're looking for somebody to try to fill you up,
that's why I said you need to be by. Sometimes people need to take time to be by themselves, be okay with that, not sleeping with anyone, not doing any of those things. And if you can't do that for, like, I would say at tops 2 or 3 months, if you can't do it for that period of time, then you shouldn't be dating. Because if you got to go from one situation to the next with no break in between, and you have to find somebody to replace the last person, it's a problem regardless.
No, definitely agree with that.
That's a big red flag.
Yeah, especially when the issue is not even that you just don't want to be alone, but you also are trying to find. I think Smooth, you were trying to say this, is that you're trying to find your completeness through that other person. When you're like, I not only can I not be alone, but when I'm with the next person, they have to be able to make me happy, or they have to be able to give me some type of additional support and of maybe a personality trait or a way of doing things.
Yeah, Jada said it best. Unfortunately, my job is not to make you happy. You should be happy, and I should add to it. So if you're looking for somebody to fulfill that, whatever you're missing, it's never going to work.
Yeah, or to Smooth's point, just because you don't know how to budget, I can't be your budgeter. You got to be able to survive on your own before you come to me and try to, because the one thing I thought about, especially at this age, maybe there potential, to Dame's question, that's the potential question. That's like, can you deal with, or can you work with my potential? Can you work with what I'm trying to do? That's fine. But that's when you're young, when you're young, you're inexperienced. Or if a person wants to deal with that, I don't know who wants to deal with that at an older age. But once you hit 35, 40, 45, no, I don't have time for potential anymore. I need you to have your stuff together, because especially if I got my stuff together. Because if I have my stuff together and you are still working on potential, you're just gonna bring me down, or you're gonna make me have to work harder and more, judiciously, because now I got to figure out how to get you up and to keep myself afloat.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
And bro, like, to be honest with me, like, it's personal. Like, bro, I lost everything before. You understand? Like, I lost everything, and I fought my way back. Like, and like, I stand on my own. Like, I ain't out here. Ain't nobody helping me. You feel me? Ain't nobody.
I feel that in that conversation.
You feel me? So I be damned.
I'm gonna let you take me down.
Hey, man, fuck no.
No, and it's funny because I just had that conversation. Like I said, I was just watching this show while I was getting my hair done, and they were talking about dating and moving in together, and that's why I was talking about earlier about how do you split the bills. And I said, for me, you're talking about a person who's been self-sufficient for a very long time. I had nobody help me pay bills. It's just been me. So for me to date another person and to, like you said, you have some men that'll cover the order and want you just to keep your money and do what you want with your money or whatever. You have some people that, you decide we're going to split the bills certain way, whatever, like however you decide that, right? And if I met a guy that said, walked into my life, everything was fine, we dated, we good, we got to a relationship, and he's like, I'm covering the bills, you sit back and use your money for else, I wouldn't feel comfortable. You're talking to somebody who was homeless. Like, I slept on people's couches and went to a shelter with my child, to now I'm a homeowner. I'm sorry, I can't, like, I would feel odd just saying, oh, okay, you got the bills. No, I need to know, make sure the bills are paid, because I can't afford to be homeless. Like, what do you, like, I can't be so reliant. I can't be, unfortunately, you're talking to somebody who's been traumatized multiple times over with living situations. So I finally got to pure homelessness, to now I got my first apartment, moved into a house, and then bought one. I can't rely on you to pay my bills. I know I can cover them. I'm good. Not that I wouldn't welcome it, but we would have that battle. Not necessarily a battle, but like, you got to understand where I'm coming from. I've been there.
Right.
I can't
or even if it's like not that you wouldn't accept it, it's just like you want to still be.
I need to know that the bills are being paid. I need to see
prepared regardless. You still want to be able to know that you can. Yeah, you don't want to be caught blindsided. Like, oh shoot, this person can no longer support us, and now I'm stuck. That kind of thing. I feel that. I feel that. Yeah, for sure.
That's trauma. Like to Clint's point, that's traumatizing. When you've been that far low, I'm not going back there. You're not going to bring me down. I'm sorry. I love you, but no.
Yeah, and this segues into our last question. To Smooth's point is oh wait, let me see. I think I just posted another novel for us to read. No, we love it. Nye says that's where I'm at, Smooth. I was in an 8-year relationship, and now I'm trying to embrace being single. I am saying trying because being single scares me. Being alone is still daunting at times. I also understand that protecting my peace at all costs can lead to a lot of lonely nights, and I am becoming okay with that. I'm learning that the love I want, I have to give to myself. I am no longer willing to give myself away. Yeah, that's good personal insight. Definitely you want to be able to understand what you're really looking for in a relationship, why you're trying to be in a relationship, and if it's just to have somebody that crutches you, or if it's so that you can actually just get somebody that's just adding to what you already have. And you definitely want to be on the side of having somebody add versus somebody taking away, or somebody needing you to prop them up all the time. All right, so back to my last question, and this is a topic we kind of talked about in the past as well, but is to this kind of segues from Smooth's point about being ready. Is why are you dating while your priorities aren't taken care of? And do you think people are recognizing that, and what kind of examples have you guys seen out there where people are failing at understanding when to say when?
Yeah, for me, I was, like I said, I was in a shelter at one point. The girls that were in the shelter with me had boyfriends. Why are you in the shelter? Like, that's the problem number one. This is your man. You're homeless. I don't like, and then you're so focused on going hang out with him that you're not actively looking for your own spot. I've seen females that I know that will go on vacations and not have a place to stay. Like, to me, your priorities are super jacked up. I need you to get your own shit before you start planning vacations and going on social media, living your best life while you're also living your best homeless life. Like, priorities all over the place. It's just one of those things. But then you have females and guys that will date people that don't have their priorities in order and complain about it. I'm sorry. I can't be a part of that. I'm not going to be an active participant. If you don't have your priorities together, we're not dating. I don't have time to the woes that you got to rob Peter to pay Paul, but you out every night on the scene spending money. You're out on vacations, your friends spending money. And then like all these things, and then you come back and say, well, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Like, you shouldn't have did that. Just being mindful of things. I think that for me personally, if I'm failing at life for whatever reason, I'm not thinking about anybody but my kids, for one, and me getting to where I need to be. I wouldn't feel comfortable with, let me date this person, think about spending time with them and going to hang out. When my life is in shambles, I don't have time for that. I need my life to be in order before I can entertain. Everybody's not like that, and I understand that. But like for me, it's like watching me struggle. Yeah, I'm dating you while you're watching me struggle, and you're not saying that you're obligated to help me, but you're watching me and allowing it as my man. It's crazy to me. Because as a female, I can't watch my man struggle and say we together and he's just over here struggling, and I'm not coming to an assistance. I know that life happens sometimes to people, and sometimes stuff just goes wrong. So if you are my man, we're not dating, you're my man, I'm going to make sure you're good. I'm going to, hey, babe, get your shit together. Like, we need to be worried about this. We need to be helping with this. This is how we can fix this. I'm not saying let's go out and take trips and go out to dinner. It's not about dinner right now. It's you getting back to where you need to be.
Right.
And being comfortable with yourself as an adult. But there's a lot of people that don't think that way. I don't know, but that's just my perception.
Your take on it, yeah. Did you have a comment on that one, Smooth? Another comment on it?
Oh no. I was gonna let Dame rock out.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Dame.
Yeah, just like Sunny, I agree with her. You know, that's not fair to that other person that you're trying to date. To let them feel some type of way because they see the person they're trying to date or love struggle day after day, don't know how to help them because they got their priorities messed up.
Mm-hmm. No doubt, no doubt. Go back to Nye. Nye said you wouldn't want to be with, or you wouldn't want to be a liability. So don't date if you can't be an asset. As much as I hate being single, I am truly not ready to date. Sober in reality, and yeah, definitely. And that's the thing is that I think that a lot of times people are only thinking about the enjoyment of dating or the fun or the the adventures that you're going on, that kind of thing, and not thinking about the harsh reality of, are you really ready to be in a relationship? And one thing that comes to my mind is the fact that, there's a thing of time. Are you wasting your time or others' time by being in these situations? You might have somebody all, excited, ready to be with you, or liking the idea of you at least, but you're wasting their time because you're not ready. You're not emotionally ready, or you're not financially ready, or you're not, you don't have your home straight, or your living situation straight, whatever the case may be. And you got them thinking that, you're ready to do this, and you're not, and you're just basically wasting time. And that's my thing. It's like, don't waste your time and others' time by jumping into relationships and you're just not ready, or end up resenting a person because, they don't understand your situation, but you are the master of that situation. To I think to Smooth's point about, trying to help somebody, and it's like, okay, if you're my woman and you're having some kind of financial struggle, that's one thing. But if we're just dating, or we're not at a point now where I'm comfortable with, trying to, financially prop you back up, don't be mad at me because your bills aren't right, or don't be mad at me because you haven't figured out how to budget. You have to have that together. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the arguments a lot of the people out, on social media have been arguing is are you looking for somebody just to take care of you and to be another parent, a surrogate parent to you, or are you really looking for a real relationship? That kind of thing.
And I think that's what goes when you talk about priorities. And when I said earlier, you got to make it make sense, because you can really like somebody. I mean, even in dating, your priorities got to be in order. That person could just be out your price range. You feel me? And sometimes you got to realize that too. A lot of people don't realize that sometimes a lot of dudes be dating out their price range. You feel me? And some women be dating out their price range, and that'll fuck you up. You feel me? Trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to be extra. You feel me? Like, nah, make it make sense. Date where you at. And if what you want is beyond your price range, lock in and go get that money. You feel me? So you can date within where you want to date at. You feel me? That's how you get. That's priorities. You feel me? Because if the type of woman you want is, it costs to date her, you gotta go get that money, bro. You gotta put yourself in a position to go get that money so you can date her.
Right,
you feel me?
Right.
Get your priorities in order.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too. Oh, I'm sorry, Dame. I'm sorry. I just go ahead.
I'm gonna say that, and we had a show a couple of shows ago about dating. Some people are dating just to be dating, and maybe they just need a distraction. They're nearly not serious about dating. They're dating for either finances, maybe like what we were talking about earlier. They're homeless. They're dating for food. We know some women will date some dude and take him out and like, yeah, you gonna take me out? I'm hungry.
No, I've been to food club before.
Yeah. Some people date just for necessity, for their needs, not really dating to get to know the person and to, progress. So we just have to Yeah, the priorities are messed up.
No doubt, no doubt. I was just about to say something. What was I about to say? But yeah,
I think
it
he was
was the
about to
priority.
respond to what I said.
Damn, I'm gonna have to come back now because I can't remember what I was about to say. I was passionate about it too. Dang.
My bad. I put a sunny on you.
What do you remember what you said that made me go off?
I was talking about dating outside your price range.
Oh yeah. So that's the other thing that's been getting to me is, and this came up from a post that I saw today. It was one of one of those new popular podcasts has been posting a lot, and they were saying how this woman was saying that she felt like men who don't, or men who want like gifts and outings and things like that from women, she didn't find that appealing. She's like, if you want all that, go find a man. And then the guys on the show were upset because they're like, oh, if I'm giving you gifts, you should be giving me gifts, and all that kind of stuff. And then you also see the situations where people are saying they want a certain thing from a person, and they want a certain type of let's say a certain type of attitude or a certain type of way of life or whatever the case may be. You have people who are dating just the wrong people who are not for them. That's what I'm saying. And I think that's another thing when it comes to dating priorities. It could be it doesn't have to be on you, the priority of what are you doing. It could be on who you're trying to date. Trying to date somebody like Smooth was saying, outside of your price range. And Joy has mentioned that. It's been on our show before, and it's talked about dating at your tax bracket, or date in your emotional level, or date someone who's at the same lifestyle that you're in. Because once you start trying to date outside of your box or outside of your circle, then you're going to find heartbreak, or you're going to find failure, and you can't keep complaining about those people who don't fit what you want, when it's because you're trying to date the wrong people. That's my thing. Stop trying
you're
to date
essentially picking the wrong people to date.
Yeah,
But I think that some people do that intentionally. So you have people that intentionally date the wrong people. Like, so your ideal person or whatever you like is like this, but you keep dating this type of person, and no matter how many different people, you're essentially dating the same person 3 times over. So you've dated this person 3 different ways that you met this. Like I'm saying, so, and essentially to kind of grasp what I'm saying, not everybody's catching what I'm saying. So if I'm dating all 3 of you guys are exactly the same toxic person. Not understand you guys are, but the way I met Smooth was different, and then he started being toxic to a middle relationship, right? So now I meet Willie. He comes at me a whole different angle, but essentially he's just like Smooth. And then same with Dame, it'll be the same person. So I've essentially picked the same person, just in 3 different designs. And I'm saying that something's wrong with the guys I'm dating. No, something wrong with me because I keep picking these people. So that's why I feel like you take a step.
And especially when you're going after the same kind of person that like my personal favorite is these guys who are always looking to try to date these Instagram models. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, I don't understand why she. And they don't have to be. I'm sorry. I don't even want to. Just put it on Instagram models as a whole. I'm talking about people who are obviously showy, obviously, want to have nothing but the finest things, but they also only want to be taken care of, right? And it's like, why are the guys who don't have money, who don't want to spoil a woman, and who wants either reciprocation or 50-50 relationships, why are they going after these type of women? Like, what sense does that make? Just because they look good or just because they have certain body parts that you want, don't make them good for you. You already see that this is a mismatch. Why are you going after that?
It's like that's like the guys who say that they don't want the females that be on social media all the time, but date girls on social media. Like you see, Keisha been posting about ain't shit niggas for 7 years, and now you dating Keisha and want her to not post about you.
Right, exactly.
But you see, bro, where a lot of that comes from is insecurity. All that is them dudes not happy with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They truly not happy with themselves. That's why, or a woman, she's truly not happy with herself if she keep dating the same. That's something that she knows she's not cohabitable with. You feel me? That's something you're rejecting, which was for you. Because that's basically what you're doing. When you keep going for that toxic shit, that means you're rejecting what's really for you.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Because you're not happy with you. That's all. That's where that comes from.
This is why I say 5 months by yourself at least.
Yeah, a lot of people not happy with themselves, so they trying to find somebody that's outside of what is good for them, or thinking that'll work for them. And it's like, nah, find out what worked for you first instead of thinking somebody else gonna do that for you.
Right.
That's what you're talking about when you said priorities and dating. Like, what is your priorities?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And my thing too is trying to change people. It's like all this arguing that they're doing, all this complaining. It's like you want these people to change. Why? Because you said so? No, you can't force people to change, and you definitely can't get in a relationship and decide, you know what, this was great while we were dating, but this ain't gonna work while we in a relationship. Like, bro, you knew what you were signing up for when you signed up for it.
And my thing is, why you getting mad at that woman because she said she don't want a man that like gifts and stuff? It's things that you don't like about certain women. You have your own preferences. Mm-hmm. Why can't that woman have her preference?
True.
You feel me? It's plenty of women out there who love to cater to their men. Mm-hmm. You feel me? That's nothing new. I don't agree with her with saying, if she was insinuating that women aren't supposed to take care of their men. Women have been doing that since forever. They do it better than us. You feel me?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what women do. So I don't agree with her with that. But she's allowed to not want to take care of a man that way. You feel me? Like, why are you mad at her? Why are we judging her? You feel me? Every woman is not for you. That also got to be an ego thing.
That part right there.
You feel me? That particular woman is supposed to like you for you. She's supposed to think like you. Like, nah.
Yeah. And that was the thing I said. I said, I didn't agree with the exact terms or like you said, or the insinuation, but I definitely think, and I don't think that she was saying, I really don't think she was saying that, it was not, that she didn't want to take care of a man or that she didn't want to, but I think it was just the way he was saying it. It was just like, but bro, like you trying to have a competition with this woman, or you trying to, say, oh, I want tit for tat. If I give you $1,000 purse, you got to give me $1,000 belt. I give you a trip to Cancun, you got to give me a trip to Aruba. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And my thing was like, women, like you said, Smooth, women gonna take care of you. The right woman for you is gonna take care of you in her way, and it's gonna be the right way for you. And if you don't want this, then that's fine. Go find somebody else. You don't have to sit here and badger this other woman about what she's doing for her man. Like, that's weak to me. Like, bro, that whole energy is so, it's like, it don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Go date who's for you. Stop trying to date who's not for you.
Exactly. Absolutely.
All right. Well, that was a great show, great topics. Hopefully somebody will make use of this information and find the right person for them, as well as make sure that that they're the right person for the next one and not be the liability as Nye said. So definitely want to thank Nye, Brittany. Who else was in the comments? GZR Dev or Forev and Tamika. Appreciate y'all. Jamie as well. Appreciate you as always. And definitely going to have another great year of GFT Radio Network. We definitely bring all the content to you guys, all the great shows across our network, including the GFT Radio Show every Monday at 10 p.m. The How to Hustle podcast with Hype every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Styles and Chevy recap every Wednesday at 9 p.m. We're on hiatus right now, but we will be back very soon. Plus, I believe we're going to do some special episodes. Hype brought it up earlier. Looking forward to doing Best Man, final chapters, as well as a couple other movies that are coming up soon as well. Sex with Sunny, live 2 Fridays out the month. Sunny's got a show lined up for this month, so hopefully we'll be seeing from her and the team. Talking about topics with sex, sexuality, and lifestyle, and the fans' perspective. Scheduled every other Sunday. Are you guys still doing weeklies for the rest of the football season coming up, or the rest of the playoffs?
For the playoffs, we definitely going every week. We took some time off for the holidays, so yeah, we definitely gonna be back in there every week for the NFL playoffs.
For sure. Appreciate that. And for now, Sunny, tell the folks where they can find you.
It's your girl Sunny. I am Sunny_D, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and TikTok. I'm coming back to TikTok. Got a couple of ones lined up coming soon. Also, my website, Unreservedly Me.
All right, for sure.
You already know it's your boy Smooth. You can follow me on Twitter at all the damn time at eTrentGoodme. I gotta put my Instagram up here, Mr.Wilson11_11. I'm on IG. Go to my blog at kingstruth.com. I want to give a special shout out to my little brother Frank. He ain't my little brother no more, my younger brother. You feel me? Today's birthday, 22. Salute to you, young man. I'm proud of you. So I'll let you, boy.
Sorry, Dame.
Yo, it's your boy Dame at Another Level Up on Instagram, Shillo21 on Twitch, Checkmate21 on TikTok, Shillo21 on Xbox, and you can find me on Facebook. I am making clips on my Facebook page, Shinlo. You can find me there, all my game clips, if you're a gamer. If not, just enjoy it.
For sure. Yeah, Hype threw me off earlier. I was trying to click on Hype, but I'm like, oh, Hype's not here. Make sure y'all get at Hype over at I Am Hype on IG and Twitter. The How to Hustle podcast with Hype every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Like you said, there's no show this week, but he'll be right back with us next week. And then the Custom Hustle World and H2H Cleaners is also on Instagram, so make sure you guys get at him for that. And it's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Get at me everywhere at Willie Styles on IG and Twitter. I'm Willie.Styles. I'm on Snapchat and TikTok. I saw you, Sonny. Find me over at gamingwithstyles.com for gaming. Well, actually, I haven't been on Gaming with Styles in a while, so go check out gamingwithstyles.com for funny videos, memes, posts. So that's what you're going to find over there for now. Visit me over at stylesradio.com for all the hot tracks that I'm listening to, which surprisingly, I was listening to some NBA Youngboy this week. Who knew? There's a couple of tracks from his new album over there, as well as there should be some new tracks from Black Thought. The new Black Thought album dropped a couple months ago. Been jamming to that, so make sure you guys check that out for some real hip hop. And WillieStyles.info for all my links. Until next time, you know where to find us. Make sure you get at us, GFTRadioshow.com. Make sure you get at us on the GFT Join the Conversation group. Make sure you do that over at the Facebook groups. We're over there all the time having a good time. Make sure you get our merchandise. GFTradio.creator-spring.com. Tons of great merchandise, long sleeve shirts, hoodies, things to keep you warm, as well as t-shirts and even children's apparel. So make sure you go check that out. Like I said, GFTradioshow.com for our website, our past shows on video and on audio, as well as check out our social links to GFT_radio on Twitter and Instagram, GFT Radio on Twitch, GFT Radio Network on Facebook, and again, join the conversation over at Facebook groups. Listen free on demand, 24/7, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Apple Podcasts. Again, one of the number one shows, top shows, 99. We beat out 99.6% of other shows for content. That means we're bringing you nothing but the best content day after day, week after week, and one of the most consistent shows in the business. So make sure you get at us on all your favorite audio
Happy New
platforms.
Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. We're here for another great year, and we will see y'all later.
Yo, it's your boy Dame here.
Hey guys, it's your girl Sunny D.
Yo, it's your boy Smooth from the GFT Radio Network.
What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building.
Join us Mondays at 10 p.m. live on Twitch, YouTube, and our Facebook. And if you miss us, don't worry. You can catch it on our website, gftradioshow.com. And if you feel like talking to us every day, join our Facebook group.
At Join the Conversation, the group where you can discuss all kinds of topics.
Catch me also, Fans Perspective, Dope Sports Show. Holla at your boy.
You can cop some merchandise over at our store, teespring.com/stores/GFT Radio. You can get t-shirts, sweatshirts, masks, and even more.
Next time on GFT Radio, what are we talking about? Join the conversation to find out.
Make sure you get at us on GFTRadioshow.com for all of our audio and video playbacks, as well as links to all of our social media sites.